new cash payments for rent instead of Section 8 for the low income. I have all the details and exactly what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to share with you the details of a program they are bringing back, which would send out ongoing monthly cash payments for the low income that you could use to pay your rent. Now, this would be in place of the traditional Section 8 or Housing Choice Voucher program that is currently in place right now, which goes out to about 2 million low-income Americans all across the country each and every month. However, this is falling significantly short from how many people actually need housing and these vouchers, and that's exactly why they're bringing this program back. Now, this is something that they implemented over 50 years ago, back in the 70s, but they're bringing it back, and they're anticipating it is going to be highly successful. That's why I want to share it with you here in the video. Let's get right into it. Really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side every single day, helping you out in any way that I possibly can, doing all the necessary research that you don't need to, and breaking it all down into these short videos as things are changing very rapidly right now. And I want to point out anything out there you can possibly grab and or take advantage of, including money, benefits, programs, raises to benefits, checks, stimulus, anything else like that. Of course, I want to bring it to your attention right away. So again, thanks so much for being here. Please subscribe down below. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends, family, social media, so they can also be very aware of this and what's going on here, and everybody can take advantage of this who actually needs it. All right, thank you so much. Let's get into it and talk about how they're implementing this new program here. They're bringing it back and what this means for the low income and how you can possibly get on this, because this is actually a pretty cool thing. Now, let's be real. Have you ever tried to apply for the Housing Choice Voucher program, or basically called Section 8, which, by the way, Section 8 is the old name for that. It is not technically called Section 8 anymore. That is the old school name. However, a lot of times it's still referred to as Section 8, but it's actually called Housing Choice Vouchers, okay? But here's the thing. Like I said a minute ago, 2 million people across the country are getting benefits from this each and every month. In fact, it's a $30 billion a year program. However, guess how many people are still on the waiting lists? Yeah, 6 million. 6 million people are still on the waiting list. So the 2 million people that are actually getting benefits from this each and every month is about 25% of the total people that are waiting for these vouchers to actually get housing. So again, I know a lot of you here in the community have applied for this, and I've seen people leaving comments down below in previous videos saying, I've been on the list for 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. I've seen some crazy amount of time that people have been waiting to get into housing. So again, this is a program that is very, very broken. I mean, let's be real for a second. I mean, you know, if somebody's sitting on a waiting list for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, something like that, waiting, that's a broken program. I mean, seriously, that is very broken. Well, here's the thing. Back in the 70s, here's what they did. Rather than having people sign up for, at the time, the Section 8 program, which is, there's a lot of red tape. Let's be real, okay? You know, if you've ever looked into this before, there's a ton of red tape on this, and it's very hard in a lot of cases for people to not only get benefits and to get these vouchers, but not only that, to be placed in housing as well. It's a very difficult thing. Well, back in the 70s, they tried this program where rather than having people sign up, they basically just said, here's some cash on a monthly basis. You just use this to pay your rent. Well, they want to bring that back because they found that this was incredibly successful. Now, this was 50 years ago. However, they're bringing it back, and here's why. Times have changed. Things have changed in 50 years. Believe it or not, things have changed. Now, here's the thing. The more research that I did on this, I continue to find that, yes, all of the people that are waiting for these housing choice vouchers are continuously going through line after line after line of red tape, right? So you wait forever to finally get enrolled in the program. You finally get these housing choice vouchers, and then you have a difficult time finding a landlord that is willing to rent to somebody that has this, right? If you've ever been through this process, you know how it goes, right? It can be very difficult to find housing in a lot of instances for a lot of people, okay? Well, that's the whole point behind this. So here's what they're implementing and how they want to start this out. So what they want to do is they want to create a few pilot programs, okay? So they want to choose 200 low-income individuals or families across 5 large cities, and they want to implement these pilot programs to see how this is going to go first. So here's what they would do. Across these 200 families per 5 cities, so it'd be 1,000 families and households individually. Okay, so it'd be 1,000. I know it's not a ton, but this is how they want to start it out. So they would choose 1,000 people, and they would do 500 people that would get ongoing monthly cash payments, and they would choose 500 that would get the traditional housing choice vouchers. So as a result of that, they would figure out and see who made it easier here. What was easier about this process? As in, did they stay in their houses longer? Did they find housing sooner? Was it easier to work with landlords? How was the process going through with all this? What they're simply going to find is that those people that go to the table and try to sign a lease or get housing with just straight up cash versus trying to go through the traditional voucher program, they're going to find that it's a lot easier. And they already know this, but they want to have a side-by-side study to actually determine this exact detail about this. So that's the whole plan here and how they want to implement this first, okay? Now, again, they're basically saying that this would be way easier and this would be a much more efficient process rather than all the bureaucracy that we have to go through and all the red tape that these people have to go through time and time again to secure this housing, to get off the waiting list and start getting benefits, all kinds of things like this. They're saying, forget all that. Let's just implement an ongoing monthly program where these individuals get cash payments where they have to use that money for rent. Now, here's the thing. I want to point this out really quickly. Even though it would be monthly cash payments, it must be used for rent. You can't go and buy a new car. You can't go and buy clothes. You can't save it. You can't buy a dog. You can't do anything with that, okay? It must be used on rent, okay? So that is the whole point of the pilot program here as well, is what they would do is whatever these individuals that would be enrolled in the traditional voucher program would be getting on a monthly basis for rent. Let's just say it's, I don't know, $1,500 a month, for example, okay? Let's just say that the individual families are getting $1,500 a month in equivalent vouchers. Well, then the people that would be on the cash side of it, getting the monthly cash infusions, would also be getting the equivalent amount, $1,500 as well. They'd be used for housing. So anyway, this is what I want to share with you because this is pretty interesting stuff. And again, we've known for a very long time now, the Section 8 or Housing Choice Voucher Program is very broken. It's been broken for a very long time now. And again, the need out there is very, very great between a lot of people. Like I said, only 25% of the people that are actually waiting for benefits or waiting for housing are actually getting something, okay? Like I said, there's 8 million people that need this and only 2 million are actually getting housing. That means 6 million people are still on the waiting lists across the entire country. It's a lot. Good luck ever trying to work through that with the current system that they have in place. It's not going to work, right? We all know this, especially with the waiting lists. I mean, let's be real. If the waiting list was a week or 2 or even a month, they could probably work through all this. It probably wouldn't be, like a huge issue at the end of the day. But the problem is we have people that are sitting on the waiting lists for years and they're never getting housing. That's a problem, right? So anyway, want to break down the details of this. Of course, I will continue watching this one very closely, but this would be very encouraging for a lot of people that are still waiting for the enrollment of this program and again, waiting to get these benefits and these vouchers because there's a lot of people that need extra housing, need to size up, move, whatever it happens to be. And unfortunately, a lot of people are stuck where they are because the program is not allowing for them to, move into a bigger place or move to a different location or whatever it happens to be. They're basically just stuck and forced to live where they are. So anyway, I'd love to hear your feedback on this. Do you think this is a great program? And again, the whole detail behind this is because they were doing some research and they found, hey, wait, back in the 70s, we tried this. Why don't we bring this back? Times have changed. Yeah, you're right. Times have certainly changed since the 70s until now, okay? Things are very different. Therefore, maybe we need to try a little bit of a different approach because the current program that they're using is not working, right? So if it's not broken, don't fix it. But guess what? It's broken. Therefore, probably fix it, right? That's probably what they're probably working on. So that's exactly what they're doing here. Anyway, I'll continue to watch this very closely and I'll bring you all the details as I get more on this. But this is actually pretty encouraging with a program that a lot of us have probably written off as, it's probably not worth it anymore because it's not even worth pursuing. I'm just going to sit on the wait list for the next 17 years until I maybe possibly get something, right? Well, we'll have to see what happens here as this could be very encouraging. So again, I will continue to keep you posted as I get more information on this. Feel free to look it up if you'd like to. Not a problem. There's no problem with that at all. But again, they want to start with these pilot program. Like I said, 200 low-income families or individuals across 5 different cities. So it'd be 200 per city, okay? So it'd be 1,000 total families and households. Again, I know that's not very many, but this is the pilot program that they would want to start with this, and then they would roll it out on a much wider scale. So just want to bring that to your attention. Anyway, hope this helps you. Again, make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands upon thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Have a good one. Take care, and catch you again later in the next